things that the House Rabbit Society got wrong. Um, Rabbits don't actually require hay. As long as it is a correct, balanced pellet, they're good. You're supposed to feed them 1 ounce per 1 pound expected adult weight. I do free feed my does and my grow out babies up to 4 months old, and after that, they get cut back. I have two separate types of pellets that we feed. We feed 18% and 16%. 16% is a maintenance feed that gets measured out to the bucks, and the 18% goes to nursing pregnant mamas and grow outs. House Rabbit Society is dead wrong on hay. Now, we do give hay on occasion, but it's mainly for the does to build nests in. And when it's really, really cold, I like them to have hay and stuff to munch on because it helps kind of keep that gut going and keeps them warmer overnight. But for the most part, in the summer, they don't. They do get snacks. They get bananas, strawberries. Occasionally we get cut grass, but right now with the hemorrhagic disease going around, I'm probably going to restrict that this year because you have to give like a 90-day dry out time. So they're probably going to be getting fresh grass this year. Um, Other things that House Rabbit Society got completely wrong. Uh, these are fine for his cage space. I mean, they like to be in there. A lot of them prefer to be in their hutches, in their cages, in their holes, because they're safer that way. Their rabbits are not really group animals that way. If you put rabbits together, they will fight. That's not even a question about if, it's when. We've have the two boys in the back that were raised from 5 weeks old together, never been near a doe. And those two bucks were good for about a year. And right about 14 months, all of a sudden, Azathoth started, getting a little too rough with Joe. And I came back there one day and he had bit him and he was bleeding. And I'm like, okay, well, that's it. So we separated him. And they like being near each other. They like the company, but they're separated for their own safety. They're also up in here because, it's safer. There's foxes and coons and all kinds of things that can get at them. So they're up in these. These are quite a bit off the ground. I actually have these up a bit higher because we're planning on doing a double stack. I already got the. I'm just waiting for my new cages to come, and then they're double stacked, and they'll be double stacked with proper evacuation set up for waste, so that way it's constantly being removed from underneath them, and then it'll be funneled outside. The new ones that were, oh, hello, mama. And that is, again, Fred, all stretched out comfy with her daughter that we're keeping. We got Marigold and her kids, which we need to be separating them soon. But no, we do love the bunnies. It's just, what's actually practical according to the American Rat Breeders Association, which I am a member. And I try to keep up on top of stuff. That's why I've been expanding. That's why the new cages are all built bigger than the ones that I started with. All the ones that I started with are being moved over for single rabbits, so that they're not going to be holding rabbits in litters anymore. They're just going to be holding bucks, single rabbits, and grow outs. Well, single grow outs. And all the new mom cages are significantly larger. They do get time out. They do get handled. They do get groomed. Right now we're going through shedding season, so we're going to start tomorrow in the next couple days, taking, a bunny or two at a time inside, giving them a good brush out, checking their toes, doing once-overs. Some of these get a little more attention than others because they enjoy the attention. But not all rabbits like attention. KJ's a bitch. I've done that one several times. We just don't it's not safe to handle her. And I will keep her as long as it's going to take me to get a daughter out of her, or a couple of good ones to move those genetics on. And they have to have the temperament, too, of their dad. That's the other unfortunate thing, is I have to make sure that they're not crazy like their mother. But she's just not a good rabbit. And I'm not going to do the wrong thing, which is push her off on someone else. I will probably eat her. I'm not going to make her someone else's problem. Like she was made my problem. Because the girl I got her from, I don't know if she just didn't know better or what, but it wasn't fully disclosed that she has an attitude issue. And I don't like taking on bunnies with attitude issues, because part of what we breed for here is temperament. I want friendly, calm rabbits. Every once in a while, we've had ones that popped up that have panic issues that are just not friendly. But I want to be able to come over here. We're just going to stand here and wait. I want them to not be scared. I want them to be willing to come up and check things out. This is Tina Turner. She unfortunately just came back Oh, yesterday, 2 days ago. Because again, I do take my buns back if something's not working out, and the person who bought them or adopted or whatever decides that they really don't want them anymore. The agreement is, yeah, come take them back. We would either trade out depending on if they're just, you don't feel that they're what you want, or if you don't think you can care for them. I'm open all the time. Text me, talk to me, whatever, to give advice. To help out, to try to keep them in the home if I can, but to keep them out of the shelter is my big goal. So they'll come back here and they'll get checked over, and may get kept. Actually, these two are probably going to be put back into the breeding program, because I honestly think there's nothing really wrong with them. It's just he had really weird expectations of what meat rabbits were. And then we got Dodgers. She'll probably come back because she's really sweet. I actually wanted to keep her to begin with, but Dodger's little sister here, and sweetie, and that's Duchess the second. She's a good girl. But yeah, we had her out playing with her last night, just checking in with her. But they're in the quarantine cages for now until we get set up. Hey, do you want to come see? I know it's scary. It's weird, huh? Here you go. Check it out. Check it out. Good girl. But yeah. But no, she's pretty chill. And she's gonna be, probably, we'll wait a little bit, and then we may breed her back. Yeah. Hi. 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 It's a good girl, huh? Shh. Good girl. No, but she's a good girl. And I'll work with her a little bit, and when she's comfy, we'll go from there. But that's, they get handled, they get worked with. On the weekends, I'm out here a large chunk of the day. On weekdays, everyone gets checked in the morning before I go to work. Everyone gets checked as soon as I get home. And then they get checked later in the evening. And then because I'm horribly paranoid about my bunnies, they get checked about midnight before I go to bed. So they get checked on multiple times a day. When there's other people here to look them over, they get checked on even more often, if Kranitz is here or whatever. These are, again, the does that are grow-outs that are for sale. Actually, the black one I'll probably keep, hopefully to replace her mom, because, again, it's a temperament thing. I need to feel out how their temperaments are. And there is, there's hay in there, and the only reason that there's leftover hay right now is because we had a really bad cold snap, and the rabbits had already gotten used to it not being so chilly. And after the rabbits kind of get used to that, like, 70-degree temperatures, I'm going to put hay or straw or whatever in there, to make sure that they got a little extra bulk and extra bedding, so that they don't get injured or damaged or die because there's the temperature shift. Temperature shifts can kill rabbits. Unfortunately, that was the reason that we lost Lily a couple months ago, because she was about 5-6 years old, and we had an unexpected temperature snap, and it wasn't something that she could handle anymore. And we brought her in and we did what we could, but sometimes things happen. What are you doing, silly? He's expecting food. So he go binky everywhere and be like, oh, is there more food? Is there more food? Yeah, Eeyore, is there more food? But, obviously, they're fine. But one of the things we're going to be working on with these guys next is, because COVID screwed up my ability to get any good cage wire last year when we had to build this out, is we had to use the shitty hardware cloth. This is okay for right now because it's pulled extra tight. So if it's taunt, it's not as likely to hurt their feet, but this is not preferred. And again, that goes back to sniff. And again, that goes back to the whole wire gauges and stuff. Is I'm waiting for my cages to come in, because as soon as I get the new cage wire and to build out another one of those dough holes, I will be pulling down the one that the girls are in right now, because it needs to be redone badly. And like I said, this was originally planned for last summer, because at that time was the perfect time to do it, because the cages were still in decent enough condition. Unfortunately, due to COVID and due to having, problems getting stuff, we had to wait because we couldn't get the material. And it's still hard to get material. So what's going to be happening is, as soon as we get our stuff in, the 4 hole back here with the bucks is going to get torn up. The 5 hole that the does are in is going to get torn up. We're going to rotate them out so that we have, when we get the new one built, we're going to rotate out the 5 hole first, rip the bottoms off, put brand new heavier gauge cage wire on the bottom, move that in to the buck barn, get it set up so that we have the proper drainage system set up, so everything is automatic, flows away. I just have to come out here with the hose and, rinse it down once or twice a day so that all the waste gets pushed straight out into a collection bin. And oh wow, good job, Sonny. He's calling a mouse. And once that's taken care of, we're going to move those four bucks, or possibly 3, because honestly, Axel is also available. He's just, again, not quite right for what we're shooting for this breeding program. I retained another buck that overall is, I think, better quality than him. Now, there's not saying there's something wrong with him. He's still a very sweet boy. He's got decent color, but it's not really what we're looking for. And I just got his sister back, who's the one we looked at here earlier. But this is Axel. Axel is available. He is now a proven buck. He just had a litter with Tia Beanie. And again, he's a sweet fella, but not exactly what we're going to be keeping. So we're going to rotate him out, and hopefully he can find a nice breeder or pet home. Because he's a good boy. You are a sweet boy. And again, like I said, we try to go for that temperament. We want to see them curious. I want to see them sniffing. I want to make sure that they're nice. Also, boys tend to be so much sweeter. They tend to be so much sweeter. Again, Oreo, and all Oreo's babies are super sweet. Eeyore is Chunk's dad, and you saw Chunk earlier. He's the one that just flops. And so far, all of Eeyore's kids have had really good personalities, really, really good personalities, and I've been very, very happy with them. Yes, I know, no bananas. I'm very mad there's no bananas. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to get better body types. I'm trying to work with doing more rabbit shows. I'm trying to get more talking with some other breeders in the community. I'm trying to learn more. I'm trying to educate more, and just just kind of slowly grow this properly. And that's kind of the goal here, is to just kind of keep learning, keep moving forward, keep improving. And we do that. And each one of these rabbits is a, case by case basis, depending on what's going to happen with it, what the decisions are for it. Some of them may be butchered. They may go in the freezer because they are meat rabbits. And, if their genetics aren't quite up to par, it is better in the long run for rabbits in general to be culled out of the system so that those genes don't go on to make more sicker, poorer quality rabbits. And I know the pet people like, oh my God, why so mean? No, in the long run, we're helping you out. Because if you do want a pet later, we're making sure it's going to be healthy. Or if it isn't perfectly healthy, I can disclose to you, this is exactly what this rabbit's issues are. This is, how it's going to affect it. Don't breed it. But if you want just a pet, this is XYZ. That's the whole thing with Joe and Azathoth. Joe has a mild case of entropion eyelid. They're going to have carnal scar. They'll have some scarring. It's not detrimental to their health overall. They've pretty much healed from it, but they will never be in the breeding program, ever. And that's just what it is. And for the other ones, we breed the best ones we can, and then we cull the rest of them. Other things that people don't realize with bunnies. Inbreeding in rabbits is not as much of a thing as it is in other species. Rabbits are extremely tolerant of inbreeding. You can do sibling matings with rabbits. You can do father-daughter. You can do line breeding. You can do type breeding. Just to give you an idea, COI, which is your coefficient of inbreeding, typically with goats, I try to keep that at 12% at max. No more 12% related. That's my preference. I think 25 is the most that you can do, like 24%. And even that's high. And the reason that's high is a sibling inbreeding is a 25% coefficient, 25% inbred. Now, some of the show lines with rabbits, they go up to 40%. So they'll breed really tight in a line in order to lock in those good traits. Because just because it's inbred doesn't mean it's poorly bred. So you can get poorly bred if you're not paying attention to what you're breeding. because it's going to magnify traits. That's what inbreeding does. It magnifies those traits. It locks those traits in. So if you have really, 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 really good animals, you can magnify and lock in those really good genes. If you have shitty animals and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, or you're just randomly letting them breed, then you're going to end up with locking in the bad traits. And that's when you get sick and you get issues and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily how closely related an animal is. It's whether or not the traits are the best. And what we do with rabbits particularly is we breed the best, eat the rest. That's how you do it with meat rabbits. So if you end up with something that's poor quality, that is removed from the gene pool. And then you move on and you work with the ones that are better quality. If you start seeing a pattern of poor quality, you scrap that line and you try something different. But a lot of this is very scientific. A lot of this is very experimental. And the way that you really know that is you then go show them, you start comparing them, you work your way up. So I have some ideas of where I need to go with my lines. I need to bring in some fresh blood for certain aspects. I have excellent growth rates, which is something I want. I have good width, which is what I want. I have good size. So I have 3 of the things. What I need next is I need shorter shoulders and I need deeper rabbits. So what I need to bring in next is I need to bring in deep rabbits with shorter shoulders, which is what everyone wants right now. So they're hard to get and they're expensive. So I might have to spend $150 on a really good buck, or 2. And that's, just what, again, kind of keeping this in mind, going, okay, well, how are these lines going to mix? What's going to be, the good for the traits? What's good for the genetics? And then there's a whole, there's all these other things that factor in. But that's just part of rabbit breeding. So hopefully that was a good enough rundown. Some of this is going to be on TikTok. I'm probably just going to post this up to my YouTube channel because it's 17 minutes long now. So you can go from that, ask me in the comments. I'll link my blog. We'll kind of go from there. But yeah, this ended up being longer winded than I meant it to be. Thank you for watching.